If you've ever felt out of place in a world that seems to reward the most talkative and outgoing individuals, you might have questioned whether there's something wrong with the way you are. But the truth is, there's nothing wrong with you. The problem lies in a success model that values extroversion alone, overlooking deeper and more strategic ways of thinking. This is something it took me a while to understand. In my mind, I thought I had to be like everyone else because, from childhood, we're told that being communicative and sociable opens doors. But does this apply to everyone? The reality is that people process the world in different ways. Among introverts, there are those who see hidden patterns, make connections invisible to most, and pick up on emotional nuances with impressive precision. If this resonates with you, you likely belong to a rare and distinct group, intuitive introverts like INFJs and INTJs. These are the most strategic and visionary personalities on the introverted spectrum, and their skills, when well developed, can become a powerful advantage. But before we explore these characteristics in more depth, it's important to understand where these definitions come from. Carl Jung was one of the pioneers in the study of personalities and identified that each individual has a unique way of perceiving and interpreting the world. His theories gave rise to the MBTI, Myers-Briggs Type Indicator, one of the most widely used personality tests in the world. It classifies people into 16 psychological types based on 4 pairs of cognitive preferences. Introversion, I, versus extroversion, E, indicates whether a person draws energy from their internal or external world. Intuition, N, versus sensing, S, determines whether a person focuses on abstract patterns or concrete information. Thinking, T, versus feeling, F, shows whether decision-making is guided by logic or empathy. Judging, J, versus perceiving, P, reveals whether a person prefers structure and planning or flexibility and adaptability. From these combinations, the 16 personality types emerge. In this video, we'll focus on INFJs and INTJs because these two profiles represent the most strategic and intuitive introverts, traits that place them in a unique position in the modern world. However, society still confuses introversion with shyness, leading to misdiagnoses and misinterpretations. And here's a personal story. I went through this at my old job, where my boss conducted annual evaluations, and in one of them, he told me I should loosen up more. That's when I realized I was simply wired this way. Every year, it was the same demand for more interaction with other departments, even though I did my job and knew there was no need for that level of interaction because it drained me. Even when I explained that it was just part of who I was, he thought it was just shyness. But shyness is linked to social insecurity, while intuitive introversion, INFJ and INTJ, is related to how the mind processes information and interacts with the world. These two types don't avoid interactions out of fear, but because they prefer deep conversations over superficial exchanges. For them, draining social interactions can be exhausting, as they require a high level of mental processing, something that needs to be managed carefully. Another common misconception is confusing introversion with ADHD or autism. ADHD is related to difficulty maintaining focus and impulsivity, while autism can impact social communication and the interpretation of facial expressions. On the other hand, INFJs and INTJs are masters of deep concentration and strategic thinking, as long as they're in an environment that aligns with their cognitive style. They don't struggle to interpret emotions and social dynamics, but they carefully choose where to invest their mental energy. This selectivity can make them seem distant or detached when, in reality, they're simply focused on what truly matters. Society, however, still struggles to understand this way of functioning. INFJs and INTJs are often misunderstood. Someone who prefers to listen before speaking might be seen as cold or disinterested when, in reality, They are simply absorbing information and analyzing scenarios. For these types, it's not about avoiding interactions but rather choosing the right moment to contribute, ensuring their words have real impact. This depth can be an immense advantage. Many of history's greatest geniuses exhibited traits typical of intuitive introverts. Isaac Newton, Nikola Tesla, and Albert Einstein didn't stand out for their charisma or eloquence but for their sharp observational skills, strategic thinking, and innovation. They spent long periods immersed in introspection, connecting abstract ideas and transforming knowledge into something revolutionary. INFJs and INTJs share this same pattern. They don't just see the world. They analyze deeply every detail invisible to most. However, societal structures favor those who speak the loudest. The professional environment, in particular, still conflates extroversion with competence. People who express themselves confidently and actively participate in meetings are quickly noticed, while those who reflect before speaking are often underestimated. From childhood, we're taught that being communicative and sociable is an advantage. Extroverted children are encouraged to lead, while introverted ones often hear phrases like, "You need to loosen up more," or "You can't stay so quiet." This pattern persists into adulthood and can limit growth opportunities for those who prefer introspection over constant exposure. But this extroversion-based success model is changing. According to Susan Cain, author of Quiet, The Power of Introverts, many companies are beginning to recognize the immense value of introspection and strategic analysis. This places INFJs and INTJs in a unique position. They aren't satisfied with superficial answers. They analyze all variables before acting, identify hidden patterns, and reflect deeply before making decisions. Great strategists, planners, and innovators don't need to shout to be heard. The depth of their work speaks for itself. Still, the world demands adaptation. Many meetings could be replaced by emails but continue to happen because face-to-face interaction is still seen as essential. Networking remains an important factor, but for INFJs and INTJs, the quality of connections matters far more than the quantity. Some companies have started to adapt by adopting asynchronous communication, remote work, and quieter environments, but the pressure to behave like an extrovert remains strong. If society insists on valuing extroversion, how can an INFJ or INTJ carve their own path without having to change who they are? The answer lies in their rare abilities, those that often go unnoticed but make all the difference in the real world. One of the most powerful is their capacity for deep focus and meticulous analysis. While many are easily distracted by external stimuli, intuitive introverts have a natural ability to immerse themselves in complex and challenging tasks. This makes them highly effective in areas that demand strategic vision, innovation, and precision, such as science, technology, philosophy, and writing. Additionally, their sharp intuition and critical thinking are hallmarks of this profile. While many make impulsive decisions, INFJs and INTJs analyze all possibilities before acting. This meticulous approach makes them exceptional problem solvers. Many successful entrepreneurs didn't rely on charisma to seize opportunities. They let the depth of their work speak for them. Another essential strength is their ability for active listening and environmental perception. INFJs and INTJs don't just listen, they absorb. They pick up on details, emotions, and patterns that most overlook, allowing them to understand people with almost intuitive precision. In a world where everyone wants to be heard, those who know how to listen become indispensable. This is why these personalities often excel as visionary leaders, strategists, therapists, teachers, and negotiators. Where exactly can these skills be best utilized? Not all professions require constant exposure and intense social interaction. For intuitive introverts like INFJs and INTJs, The ideal work environment is one that allows for deep concentration, autonomy, and a pace that respects their natural thought flow. These two types share a reflective and strategic approach to navigating the world, but they have fundamental differences that influence their professional preferences. While INTJs excel in efficiency, strategic planning, and solving complex problems, INFJs stand out for their deep intuition, empathy, and ability to transform people's lives. This difference means each thrives better in distinct areas, though both possess an analytical vision and the ability to anticipate patterns. If you're an INTJ, logical, analytical, strategic, INTJs feel at ease dealing with abstract concepts, complex systems, and long-term strategies. They prefer environments that value critical thinking and autonomy, allowing them to develop efficient and sustainable solutions. They are meticulous in organizing processes and enjoy settings that offer constant intellectual challenges. Professions that align with this profile include software engineering, ideal for their analytical skills and strategic vision in solving complex problems, requiring logic and detailed planning. Strategic consulting, where they can apply their logical reasoning to optimize processes, make informed decisions, and improve business efficiency. Scientific research, a field that demands patience, planning, and the ability to handle large volumes of information, perfect for their analytical eye and methodical approach. If you're an INFJ, sensitive, visionary, purpose-driven, INFJs value authentic connections, deep meaning, and social impact. They prefer working in areas where they can understand emotions, guide people, and create real change. For them, professional satisfaction comes from the feeling of contributing to something greater than just tangible result. Some professions aligned with this profile are psychology or therapy, where their empathy and intuition can be used to help others understand their feelings and challenges, offering emotional support and guidance. Writing and communication, a field that allows them to express their deep reflections and ideas in inspiring ways, whether through books, articles, or motivational speeches. Teaching or mentoring, ideal for their desire to guide, influence, and positively impact others' lives, creating change through knowledge. Regardless of the path chosen, both INFJs and INTJs need an environment that values their introspection and deep analytical skills. Finding a professional space that respects their work style and unique way of thinking can be the key to success. However, even in ideal careers, knowing how to position themselves and communicate strategically is essential for professional growth. Personally, I prefer any job that doesn't require direct interaction with people. The ideal would be to be an heir and not have to work, but since I wasn't that lucky, I have to choose. Tips for INFJs and INTJs to thrive in an extroverted world. The world favors extroversion, but that doesn't mean INFJs and INTJs can't excel. The secret lies in using their natural strengths strategically, without forcing themselves to adopt behaviors that don't align with their nature. While INFJs have a strong desire for social impact and human connection, INTJs seek efficiency and intelligent solutions. Each has a unique approach to achieving success, but both need to find environments and strategies that support their innate characteristic. 1. Recognize and value your own abilities. INFJs and INTJs often spend years trying to fit into an extrovert-oriented success model, which can lead to frustration. However, their unique way of perceiving and analyzing the world is their greatest strength. Instead of competing for the spotlight in social settings, the right path is to use their intelligence strategically. For an INTJ, this might mean designing efficient systems that optimize processes and boost productivity. For an INFJ, it could involve developing persuasive communication strategies that strengthen an organization's identity or inspire meaningful change. Understanding and valuing these natural qualities transforms their skills into valuable assets, allowing them to thrive without imitating extroverted styles. 2. Develop effective communication. Even though they prefer introspection, communicating effectively is essential for their ideas to be taken seriously. The key for INFJs and INTJs isn't to speak more but to express themselves with clarity and impact. INFJs, who tend to have a more emotional and persuasive style, can benefit from techniques that make their communication more engaging and empathetic. This is particularly useful in fields like teaching, therapy, or human-centered leadership. INTJs, on the other hand, should focus on logical and objective communication, ensuring their ideas are well-structured and persuasive. Professions in technology, strategy, or research require them to be direct and assertive. Written communication is an excellent ally for both. INFJs can excel by writing detailed reports and reflections, while INTJs can organize ideas and structure arguments with precision, ensuring their proposals are taken seriously. 3. Build strategic relationship. Traditional networking might feel exhausting or superficial, but strategic relationships are crucial for professional growth. INFJs thrive by creating authentic connections, preferring fewer but deeper relationships that truly resonate with them. Investing time in mentors who share their vision can open doors and accelerate their growth. INTJs tend to build relationships based on intellectual interests and shared goals. They excel by connecting with influential people in their fields, ensuring their competence is recognized without needing excessive exposure. The quality of connections will always matter more than quantity. A few well-chosen relationships can open significant doors without the need for frequent or draining social interactions. 4. Adjust your work environment to your rhythm. Working in noisy, chaotic environments can be exhausting for intuitive introverts. Quiet, organized spaces are essential for INFJs and INTJs to perform at their best. If a noisy environment is unavoidable, some strategies can help. INFJs can seek moments of silence to reorganize their thoughts and avoid emotional overload, creating small pockets of introspection throughout the day. INTJs can optimize their time by avoiding unnecessary meetings and implementing more efficient work methods, such as asynchronous communication and well-structured guidelines. For both, remote work or environments with greater autonomy can be ideal. If changing the setting isn't possible, noise-canceling headphones, task organization in blocks, and strategic deep work hours can help minimize distractions. 5. Manage your energy and avoid overload. Excessive social interaction can be mentally draining. INFJs absorb others' emotions and need periods of emotional rest, while INTJs, focused on efficiency, may feel frustrated by interactions they deem irrelevant. INFJs should carve out moments of solitude to balance their emotional energy, especially if they work in fields that require constant empathy, such as customer service or counseling. INTJs can set specific goals for social interactions. If they need to attend events or meetings, they can plan their participation strategically, ensuring the experience is productive without unnecessary exhaustion. 6. Choose environments that value your profile. Not all companies recognize the value of introspection and strategic thinking, but the market is changing. INFJs can seek sectors that prioritize human-centered work, such as healthcare, education, or social impact. If they feel their sensitivity isn't valued in their current environment, switching fields may be a good alternative. INTJs thrive in environments that value innovation, efficiency, and long-term planning. Industries like technology, engineering, or strategic consulting often align well with their strength. By aligning their careers with environments that respect their natural tendencies, INFJs and INTJs can not only survive but thrive in an extroverted world. The key is to leverage their unique abilities, communicate effectively, and create spaces where their depth and strategic thinking can shine. INTJs can find greater fulfillment in environments that prioritize autonomy and strategic execution, such as technology, finance, or engineering. If they feel they're wasting time with inefficient processes, they can seek out companies more aligned with their work style. Thriving in a world that favors extroverts doesn't mean trying to be someone you're not. The secret lies in understanding your own strengths and using them strategically. Society may value quick speech and constant exposure, but the world needs great communicators as much as it needs great thinkers. If you struggle with this, consider seeking professional help. Jungian therapy can help you better understand your mind, strengthen your identity, and find ways to position yourself in the world without losing your essence. If this content resonated with you, subscribe to the channel and comment below about your current profession. I also invite you to check out the books I recommend in the first pinned comment, where you'll find my exclusive ebook on archetypes and alchemy. It's a guide that explores inner transformation. Thank you for making it this far.